had this very bizarre and ironic experience as the day drew near when this interview was taking place, because like any good interviewer, I went to the source and I reread your book, and every time I opened it, I would be reminded I wasn't supposed to, because the subtitle is "Don't prepare, just show up." So I would open it, and then everywhere and all through the book, I'm reminded that I shouldn't be preparing, but I did anyway.
Let me say something about that. What I really need is not don't prepare, but don't only prepare. Or don't let your preparation get in the way of showing up and seeing what's there.
And being in your body.
Yeah, being in your body. In a way, you've got to prepare, but then let it go.
Yeah.
But I said it like that. People like to hear that.
I love to hear that. So another thing that came up is in the Chronicle today, there was quite a bit of information about Charles Darwin, because his 200th birthday would be this week, this Thursday, I believe. And the Darwin quote that you have, I went digging around to find it. This is it. It's, "In the long history of humankind and animal kind too, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. Those who collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed." So, and then you go on to talk about how we improvise on a cellular level as humans. I'd like to understand more about that.
Well, it's Charles Darwin. My experience, I guess, and my belief is that being fully alive is about improvising. That when we are not phoning it in, when we're not using the script, when we're not following the formula, when we're showing up to life, to what's in front of us, and we're really awake to that, when we're, to use the current parlance, when we're living in the present, when we're in that present moment, and acting as constructively as we can manage, that's a form of improvisation which is natural, cellular, really, because it's what humans do when all that other stuff that we've somehow learned gets in the way of it. And that is one of the reasons why the work we are doing is, I think, it's seminal to the health of our planet. It's the most important work I know going on right now. And because it crosses all disciplines, because it's a way of doing things, a way of interacting with each other that has a moral component, those of us in this room have really important work to do. I was thinking about it, and the phrase that came to mind is we need to be entrepreneurs of improv. It's not just teaching a class that already exists or showing up for a gig that for a show. We need to find ways to take the thing that we know how to do and how to share with others, a way of being, and sharing it with those in the world that will help them do the thing that they need to do. Because this work is powerful beyond words. I just want to share with you two stories of, one was just last week. I got a blog alert that a blogger was talking about Improv Wisdom, and it turns out the blogger has a blog on caregiving for Alzheimer's patients. And she had done a 4-page article using the principles from Improv Wisdom as advice to caregivers of how to work with Alzheimer's patients. That the idea of accepting, saying yes to what the patient says, of not having an agenda, of showing up and doing the next most obvious thing, of being helpful, keeping a sense of humor, that she used all of the improv principles as a roadmap for how someone who's working with people with dementia or Alzheimer's could go forward. Now, I didn't write the book for Alzheimer's caregivers, but then somehow the book is circulating in the world, someone finds it and uses it in that way. What we have here is so potentially life-changing and world-changing that we all need to be out there spreading it around and figuring out ways to package and share this work everywhere. That's one thing. And another is first an email and then a letter I got from a woman who had studied with me. She'd taken my continuing studies class about 10 years ago. And she wrote to me, she said, you might like to know about how the things that I learned in your class and from your book, Improv Wisdom, helped me. She said, I was in a coma for 7 weeks and given up for, they were going to pull the plug. And after 7 weeks, I finally woke up from this coma. I couldn't speak and I couldn't move. And she said, nothing that she had been a philosopher, she said, nothing I knew of from my philosophy or from my spiritual training or anything was sort of there. And all of a sudden, the ideas of improv occurred to me. Well, I could just show up. I guess I have to. And I can just see what comes next. I can trust reality and kind of say yes to whatever happens. And she said, the spirit of improv got me through the whole first month when I was coming out of the coma back into life. And I think, oh my goodness, what improv can do. And we don't know how the people that we teach finally use this, how they may wake up from coma and see some of these principles helping them get through the day. It touches me so deeply to think that the work, and it's not something I've done, it's that improv itself is a force, a spirit of doing things, of communicating with each other that you cannot get anywhere else. We know it because we're part of this incredible community of people who share this philosophy. It's fun to be around this because we say yes to stuff a lot of the time. So it was like, what would I want to say to this audience? I would want to say to all of you that are already doing improv, keep doing it, keep sharing it, find ways to be entrepreneurs of improv, find ways to keep offering things, make up the name of a class, write a course description of something you could offer for some constituency. What's the group of people that interest you? Seniors or children or people in mental health or whatnot? There are so many ways that we can take this juicy, fun way of doing something, offer it to people, and then let reality do its work using the principles to solve other problems. Isn't that great?